Hello everybody! Guess what? I just saw Detective Pikachu. Literally got out of the theater like 20 minutes ago. I gotta say, I'm actually pretty impressed. And that's why, as you can see by the title, I am gonna draw a hyper-caffeinated Pikachu. Now I haven't completely decided whether or not I want to draw in the more traditional Pokemon style, or in that more realistic style, or something in between, like my style. I don't know. Probably gonna be a little bit similar to, I don't know. It's gonna be hybrid. How about that? Hybrid Pikachu. And while I draw, I'm gonna tell you guys a few of the things that I think were really well done. This will be a spoiler-free review. This will be a spoiler-free, not review, I guess? It's not a review. I'm not a movie reviewer, but I love me some Pokemon. And I've been playing since the first generation. Now, I never did actually play the Detective Pikachu spin-off game. I don't actually know how many of you did, but I remember always being quite thoroughly drawn to how adorable Pikachu is in a detective hat. Also, his obsession with coffee. Ooh, I just got the idea to put Psyduck in here too. Maybe Pikachu is introducing Psyduck to the majesty of coffee. That seems like a great idea. Because of course, coffee doesn't cause headaches. Caffeine doesn't cause headaches. No. Okay, so on to my thoughts on this film. So some backstory about me, as you may or may not know, I've been playing Pokemon pretty much since I can remember. I remember playing yellow version and red version on my little Game Boy Color, and I remember traveling around with an entire bag full of unsecure batteries on like every road trip. So they're just floating around in these plastic baggies, and I would instantly pop those in as soon as I started to get the feeling that I didn't even wait for my Game Boy to warn me or turn off or whatever it used to do, I don't remember. I would feel it. I would feel that I had been playing for too long on one set of batteries, and then I would pop them out and toss them out and then get some more. Younger me was not good for the environment. Pokemon is definitely where I got my affinity for all things pets and animals, and now I am officially a mount and companion collector in any video game I play if they're available. So considering all of that, obviously Pokemon is super near and dear to my heart, and I loved the anime when I was a kid. So when I went in to see this movie, I had really high hopes, but mostly, to be honest with you, I was just going in there to see how they integrated Pokemon with real life, or live action, you know what I mean. And I was actually not disappointed. There were a few times during this film where you're gonna be like, that's a little uncanny valley. Just a little bit. But it's not too bad. It is not too bad, and it is not throughout the whole thing. In fact, 95% of the time, Pikachu is just completely adorable all the time, and Ryan Reynolds is hilarious. I loved the fact that if you're paying attention and you know your Pokemon, if you look into the backgrounds of most of these scenes, you're gonna see Pokemon that you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know that one, oh I know that one, oh I know that one. And there's a lot of little tiny Easter egg ones that you're really only going to see one time in the film, and you really have to look at those backgrounds as things are going by. Now, admittedly, and you've probably heard this if you've looked into much of any Detective Pikachu anything, the story is not all there. Like, the story is a little bit questionable. Again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a lot of questionable motives, there's a lot of questionable reactions. But ideally, you're not going to go see a Pokemon movie for the story. You're going to go see the Pokemon movie because it's a fun, feel-good, creative, artistic venture into the imagination and childhood that you hopefully experienced and loved, and you're gonna get nostalgic as heck. Heckin' nostalgia, man. There are a few things that I wish were in the film. I'm not gonna go into those right here because they could be spoilers, but hopefully this film does well enough and takes off enough that Hollywood is gonna be like, okay, you know what, we could probably do this again. Because I would definitely say that this is easily the best video game-based movie that we have ever seen on the big screen. But I think that's largely because they aren't even paying attention to the video games or the anime. They're not trying to take pre-established characters. They, as you know from the trailers, have Tim, and I mean, obviously, I assume that obviously these are characters from the Detective Pikachu game, but I don't think I have any friends who have ever played it. I don't think I know of anyone who's ever played it. And any of the people that I've seen review this, I don't think they've ever played it either. So, but I do know that Tim Goodwin is a character in Detective Pikachu, but it's not part of the main series, and I think that really helps with fan expectations, because really what you're going in here for is not to see Ash at the Pokemon League, right? You're going in here to see Pokemon, period. And this does not disappoint. There's Pokemon everywhere. There's obviously a lot of stuff done just for fan service purposes, just for those 90s fans. But honestly, 98% of the Pokemon look so cool and so good, and you can still tell exactly what they are without them being creepy or wrong, that I really have no complaints about that. Another really cool thing that you'll notice in the movie is that the writers and directors definitely looked into their Pokédexes a little bit, and you can see either through observation or through character lines or whatever that they know their Pokemon. For example, just as a call out, when you go to see the movie, if you haven't seen it already, you'll notice in the first 5 minutes that one of the characters says something, and if you haven't read your Pokédex, you won't have any clue what he's referring to. But if you have, you'll probably smile or cry, depending. But that's why I like it, and that's why it's definitely a film for Pokemon fans, by Pokemon fans, or by the Pokemon Company, and anybody who really wants to see it. I mean, I don't think this is something that needs to necessarily be seen only by Pokemon fans. I think that they do a really good job of explaining what the world of Pokemon is, actually. The only thing is, people who didn't grow up with Pokemon will not get the nostalgia factor, obviously. Which isn't too bad. I mean, you know, you as the Pokemon fan just get to bombard them with dreamy stories of your childhood after the film. Everyone wins. Some of the acting, I don't know, this might be an unpopular opinion, I'm not sure, but some of the acting is a little bit wooden sometimes. But again, I'm there for the Pokemon. I don't care about the acting. No, I do, but I don't care as much about the acting as I do about the portrayal of Pokemon. Now back to the drawing really quickly. You notice that my cute little Psyduck and Pikachu are drinking out of these cups, which hopefully you can tell what those are. But I was really struggling to think of a Pokemon Starbucks equivalent type of thing. And so I kind of just gave them Starbucks cups, except with a Pokeball on them. Because I am just that creative. So that is what they're drinking, that is what they're consuming. Pikachu has lots of experience with this, Psyduck does not. So Pikachu is just kind of getting Psyduck messed up on caffeine. But it's all in good fun, you know. Anyway, back to the movie. I think Justice Smith did a pretty decent job. I loved Ryan Reynolds. I think that they did the right thing by giving Pikachu a voice, and I think they did the righter thing of giving Pikachu Ryan Reynolds' voice. This would not be the same movie without Ryan Reynolds, absolutely. For better or for worse, and I think it's for better. And I think that's the general consensus, but if you disagree, please let me know in the comments down below, because I am curious to know what you guys thought of this movie, especially if you are fans of Pokemon. And even if you're not, if you saw this and you saw it with like your daughter or son or your little brother or whatever, I don't know. What did you think? If you don't know Pokemon or you don't like Pokemon. I actually went to see this with my dad, and he was not into it. He fell asleep a number of times, even though he's mad at me for saying that. There is a twist, I guess, in this, but it's not very twisty, because it's practically posted on a sign. It's not actually, that's not a spoiler, that's not a it's not a blatant hint or anything. I'm just saying it's really, really obvious if you're watching the film what's happening or what's going to happen. And that I didn't like very much. That's just because I've got a big affinity for good detective movies and twisty-turny stories. But hey, you know what? With Game of Thrones Season 8 doing what it's doing right now, I guess the entertainment world is out of good, decent, twisty-turny writers. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to throw shade at a completely unrelated topic. I'm just mad about the bells. But anyway, you guys, I think this is probably where I'm gonna end this, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I've been a little bit all over the place in this video, but I'm pretty psyched about this movie. I really hope that Hollywood takes the hint, and I hope that Pokemon just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any ideas for what I should draw or what mediums I should use next week, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the final product, and you can check me out on Etsy, Instagram, or Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification icon if you want to get notified of any time that I post videos. And also, please give me a like, because that tells the YouTubing gods that you actually like this content. So thank you so much, and till next time, guys.